Hi there, Scorpios, and welcome to your shadow dream reading with me, Priscilla B. Okay, so we're going to be entering the dream world, and that is going to be showing us what exactly is going on in your shadow energy right now at this time. Okay, so first we open a door with our Doors of Destiny Oracle cards, and we walk through that door into our dream world, and we figure out what exactly is going on. What does our shadow want us to know at this time? We have the Door of Sovereignty, self-determination, liberty, freedom, free will, and release. Okay, so we have the Door of Simplicity here, and we have this adorable little pink bird. Looks like it's like halfway between being out of the golden gilded cage, and then like also like it's there but it's not there, like it can fly out anytime it wants. All right, so there's like a sense of freedom, obviously, here. Freedom for you to like express yourself. Okay, Scorpio. Uh, so yeah, so it looks like what's happening right now is like you're going through like a little bit of a battle. Okay. I feel like I'm getting like Katniss Everdeen vibes from this. Like, I feel like it's like the Hunger Games out there for you. Okay, Scorpio, like you're trying to do your own thing. Okay, you really want to like uh zone into like this, you know, like I feel like there's like a mentality here where you're like you want freedom here, but you also have like this big epic battle that you need to like overcome first, or like you're, the odds are against you, right? And you're feeling like, how do you like soar to freedom or fly to freedom, whatever that looks like for you, with this big battle going on. Okay, so the way we're gonna like figure this out is we're gonna go in the past here a little bit. Okay, we're gonna um, jump around timelines here, and the past can affect the present and shape your future. It is important to understand and work through any past events that occurred in your life. So, what past events do you feel are affecting your life today? Okay, Scorpio. So let's take a look at that. We have health. Okay, so your health. So health related issues are what is affecting your life today. Okay, so um, in your past, you probably had, maybe you had difficulties with your health, Scorpio. You were facing, physical, mental, emotional, overall, like stuff, situations here, and challenges here. Okay. Um, so looking at that closer, okay, um, why is this affecting you, and in what way is this affecting you? Okay. Oh, betrayal. Wow, with the dagger to the heart. Okay. So your health related problems were related to betrayal. Wow, that's deep. That's really, really deep, Scorpio. I'm sorry you had to go through that, because, a dagger to the heart, obviously a betrayal of the heart here, led to you physically, mentally, emotionally just feeling like not well, like sick, okay? And in a bad way. So, looking at that, okay, it says, how can I work through this to heal? So, how can we work through this to heal? Success. All right, so through success, okay, and through association here, working together, okay, Okay, so you're working with someone here. This is like a mad scientist. Okay, this is like an alchemist. Okay, he's like busy creating some kind of like potions or something here. Okay, um, so he could be, like a healing elixir, for example. Okay, and your association with him, this could even be you. Okay, Scorpio, you could be the one making your own like self love here. Your own healing potion here, to help you feel brand new and vitalized and like just overall health wise better. Okay, so collaboration, association, like teamwork, working with a friend, coming up with a plan together, a like-minded, like artist, alchemist, like yourself. Okay, Scorpio. You're basically like creating your own cure for this like betrayal that you've experienced. Okay. Um, so looking at that, we're now going to dive into your childhood memories. Okay. Childhood memories etched into the subconscious can affect many things in life without you even realizing what the root cause is. Reflecting on your childhood memories is helpful. Positive childhood memories which have affected your life. And we have the star energy here. Okay, Scorpio, you are the star here. You're channeling in this star quality, this star power, this star energy. You're feeling like your own vase here. Like she's got her own like water pitcher here, and she's filling it with stars. But she's like feeding herself. I think and it's just bringing in all this light and abundance. It's like being poured into her. So I feel like you're pouring into yourself again, okay, after experiencing this heartache, this betrayal, that left you feeling like you had no freedom at all, okay? And looking at this star energy, we're going to look at the star energy here because this is positive. Hope, inspiration, spiritual guidance, okay? This card represents a time when you are filled with a sense of optimism and inspiration, often after a period of difficulty or challenges. The star signifies a renewed connection to your spiritual self and the presence of divine guidance. It encourages you to have faith in the future and to follow your aspirations. The star card is a symbol of healing, inspiration, and the potential for wishes to come true. Okay, so that's a positive thing. Okay, healing, inspiration, wishes coming true. Okay, these are all feelings that are associated with these positive memories that you have. And the positive memory you have is like, how do you learn to like cure yourself, right? After this heartache, after this breakup, right? Because I feel like I'm getting breakup here. I'm getting like betrayal of like of love here. Okay. A romantic connection here. Okay. And even in childhood, like, we're not, we don't have to go like that far back, but like, even if you're like, just say, it's your first boyfriend, girlfriend, your first crush ever, right? That stems from childhood. Okay, I believe. From my personal experience, I don't know about your Scorpio, but I feel like for you, you've experienced like having a crush on someone in your past. You've experienced how that person has betrayed you. Okay. But the star brings in this new sense of hope, this new sense of healing for you. And that being said, okay, we do have some negative childhood memories here which have affected your life. Okay, Scorpio. We already established kind of like that heartache, that betrayal, that can always lead to a lack of faith in yourself, right? And like self-esteem even. Disillusionment, believing you're not beautiful enough, you're not pretty enough, thinking you're ugly, and these kind of negative thoughts in your head. None of which are true, Scorpio. You're a beautiful, beautiful, amazing person. You have a beautiful soul. There's so much love in your life and light in your life. The star is literally bringing in that wish, wishing upon a star. It's like, it sounds cliche, it sounds corny, but really tapping into that belief that you are good enough, that you are beautiful enough, that you are, like hot enough, I guess, because, today's society, we have like such misogynistic douchebags out there, but like reclaiming that definition of yourself is going to be so powerful for you. But when you have a lack of faith, when you have disillusionment, when you have a loss of hope, it suggests that you may be struggling to connect with your spiritual self or feeling disconnected from your sense of inspiration. The Star card serves as a reminder to rekindle your sense of faith and hope, even in challenging times. It encourages you to seek inspiration and healing despite temporary setbacks. Okay? So, yeah, I mean, like, you are, there's this beautiful like growth, there's this beauty. The flowers at the woman's feet symbolize growth, beauty, and the potential for blossoming hope and inspiration here. Okay, the seeds have already been planted, the flowers are already blooming and growing all around you. Okay, Scorpio. So all you need to do now is believe in yourself. And how do you go about believing in yourself? Okay. So, what steps can you take to come to peace with these, heartaches and these breakups and these, betrayals of your heart, and stuff like that? So, we have the King of Cups, okay? And we have the Hierophant and we have the Moon, Scorpio. Two wolves howling at the moon here. And the Hierophant, wise old man, and the King of Cups. Okay, again, crescent moon energy, both the moon and the King of Cups. Okay, Scorpio. So, looking at this, there's a King of Cups that wants to come in and give you, like, yeah, I think he wants some water from your pitcher, honestly. I think he wants some of your light, okay? It could be a new romantic perspective here, okay? And perspective, prospects, okay? Or like, someone who just like is a masculine energy, but is very sensitive to your emotions and like really connects with like your feelings and like is just like there kind of as like a friend maybe. That could be a potential love interest or lover, or I don't know, but like for now they're definitely coming in very strongly as a friend. And in our childhood we don't know what like the definition, like we hear boyfriend or we hear like we know like these different like masculine titles, right? Like husband, father, uncle, grandpa, right? Like those are associated with like these big titles, right? But like when we're like a child, okay, we're kind of not really thinking about what that title defines or means, really, or like looking for that title, like of how to like make sense of that. Like we're really like, I feel like your side of your energy here is like more of like a playmate. Like who can I like play with, right? Like who can I get along with? Okay. And that's what your shadow side is like, sort of like kind of like giving you like it's kind of messing with your head a little bit because you're like, I'm grown up, I'm an adult now, but there's like playful sort of energy and sort of vibe of like who can I like connect with emotionally. Not like, okay, like professional business titles, like we're not talking about that, okay? We're not talking about like family business, okay? So King of Cups, Hierophant and the Moon, it's more of like a playful energy, okay? We're getting rid of the illusion that you always have to be in like this very like concrete world, this very like your dreamscape, your dream world. It's not meant to be concrete. It's meant to be like a flow of energy, and it's meant to like be designed the way that it's like it's malleable, it's soft, it's like cushiony, it's warm, it's comforting, even in the nightmares, okay? It's meant to sort of like support you and like guide you through this like subconscious realm of signs and symbols, okay? So I'm going on like a total, detailed architectural exploration here, which I'm not mean to do, but yeah. All right, so enough about all that. Getting back here to your childhood memories, okay, we're looking at now like more of like your teenage like type years here, like young adult, okay, like I want to say like 16, 17, 18, like that's when this like King of Cups sort of energy started like really being important to you, like having like a friend that offers like this emotional support, but also wants like, to be like boyfriend with you, but like, not really using titles so much here. We're not really using titles here because I feel like for you, titles were and labels were never a big major thing till later in life. So we have emotional mastery, compassion, and diplomacy. This card signifies a mature and balanced approach to emotions, often associated with someone who is empathetic, wise, and in control of their feelings. The King of Cups invites you to embrace your emotional intelligence and offer guidance and support to others with empathy and understanding. It symbolizes the ability to navigate emotional challenges with grace and diplomacy. This card encourages you to lead with kindness, wisdom, and emotional stability. Okay, now in the past, you probably were dealing with, a lot of like masculine energies that were emotionally manipulative. And I feel like that has transpired and have reoccurred in your life even pretty recently. But you're trying to like separate yourself from that as much as possible now. Okay, Scorpio? Suppression of emotions. Like, I feel like anytime you were with someone where a label was attached, there was like suppression of emotions here. It's like whoever didn't want to have a label with you or did have a label with you, like, I don't know how to explain it really. Like, I feel like there was like a little bit of both. Like, there was someone you wanted to have a label with and they were there for you emotionally, but like they didn't want to put a label on it. And then there was someone who you did have a label with, but they weren't there for you emotionally. It's like once a label was attached, the emotions were out of the equation. Okay? So it's kind of like, what? Like that's why it feels so like upside down and reversed to you of like all these like negative things because it's affected you now in life because you're like, what if labels aren't as important as I interpreted them to be, right? But at the same time, you still like to have that as like a sense of security, but it's like a sense of false security. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Scorpio, but that's what I'm picking up on. So then we have the Hierophant, okay? So we have like a wise mentor, Dumbledore, Gandalf type teacher here, that's coming in here to sort of read from this book here of life, of lessons, and give you some insight into how you can overcome these feelings that you're having, okay? And these connections of energy that you're having that aren't really supporting you so that you can be around the ones that are supporting you, okay? So looking at the Hierophant, because the shadow energy, it really does like strip away any sense of like titles and labels, and it really just brings you back to energy again. Okay. So looking at the Hierophant, tradition, guidance, spiritual knowledge. Okay. This card represents a connection to established belief systems, institutions, and mentors who offer wisdom and spiritual guidance. The Hierophant signifies a time when you seek spiritual or moral truths, often through formal education, religious institutions, or a spiritual mentor. It encourages you to respect tradition, embrace structured learning, and find spiritual insight through the guidance of others. The Hierophant card is a symbol of conformity to established norms, mentorship, and a deep connection to spiritual teachings. Okay? On the reverse side, we have nonconformity, unconventional beliefs, questioning authority. Okay. It indicates a departure from established traditions or a need to challenge conventional wisdom. Reverse, the Hierophant serves as a reminder to explore personal spirituality and question the status quo. It encourages you to find your unique path to spiritual knowledge and consider alternative viewpoints. And that's what you're doing, like in this shadow universe where you're letting a little bit of your ego, okay, sort of just like come out a little bit, just a little bit, Scorpio, and just like explore this like untraditional view of connections and relationships. Because when you stick with like the religious sort of traditional constructs, okay, you're dealing with a lot of control. You're dealing with a lot of suppression here. And the Hierophant doesn't want you to look at life that way and view life that way. It wants you to explore right now. Okay? Yes, you have your traditionals, like things. Like, yes, we shouldn't betray the people we love, right? We shouldn't, here's a good example. I don't know. Maybe you had a boyfriend in your past that was labeled your boyfriend, but he had other intentions, right? He didn't have the intention of being your boyfriend forever. He had the intention of being your boyfriend long enough for him to, sleep with your best friend, or, maybe it didn't start off that way, but then that was the goal, was to like sleep with everybody in your friend circle, right? To sort of like dominate and show control and power, because he saw you as a powerful authority figure. And the only way to dismantle your sense of security, your sense of ego and value and self-worth, was to betray the love you had. And yeah, we say love, but as a younger person, we don't really fully understand that concept. It's just more of an energy, really. So wow, I feel like we're getting in like so deep here. Okay. All right, so to kind of like bring us into a more we are going into the subconscious here. Okay, I feel like we're like already there. But to sort of like unwrap all that and unravel all that, we have the moon energy. Okay, the card of both illusion and intuition. Okay, so some people will give you the illusion that they have this very strong bond, this very strong connection with you. That bond, that strong connection they have with you, it's not always going to be beautiful and positive and amazing. Sometimes it's going to be very negative. Sometimes it's going to take you some very dark, negative spaces in your life, okay? So if you are experiencing nightmares, for instance, where loved ones, okay, are, experiencing trauma and their own nightmare and their own pain and their own agony, and you're seeing that, just know that like there is beauty in the world, and there's also darkness and decay and death in the world too. There's, hot and there's ugly, right? But we're not here to like label anything that way. We're here to just pick up on receiving what energy are we needing to create? What energy are we needing to expand on? Because that's really what your shadow is trying to tell you. It's not trying to say, okay, put a label on yourself. It's trying to say, this is the energy you're feeling in the moment. Go with that flow of energy. And then when you're feeling the other way, then go with that energy flow. Go where it takes you. And the moon is all about, the natural cycles of life and the flows of energy of life. Okay? And the phases. So looking at the moon energy here, right into the moon energy now. I love the moon energy. It's a good one. So we have illusion, intuition, and unconscious. Okay, you can't really tap into your unconscious, but for the sake of this reading and timelines here, we are going to interpret the card and the reading as what our unconscious is maybe trying to tell you. It's trying to tell us, Scorpio, okay? So this card represents a time when things may not be as they seem. The hidden truths or aspects of the unconscious come to the surface. The moon signifies the power of intuition and the need to navigate through the mysteries of the subconscious. It encourages you to trust your inner guidance and explore the depths of your emotions and intuitions. The moon card is a symbol of dreams, illusions, and the connection to the hidden realms of the mind. Okay? Now, we are facing our fears with this card. Okay? Our fear of being betrayed, our fear of our loved ones being hurt, our fear of, ourselves being hurt, But it's also going to bring us clarity and illumination when we're not afraid to face those fears. So we're going to follow the moon's advice here, and we're going to go into the unconscious. And just a fair warning here, I'm going to be reading from the Atomic Tarot. Okay. It's got some lovely drawings on there. I did not make. But anyways, and just, just kind of like state the obvious here. It's like, when I say fair warning, I don't know if you've ever read this deck before, but it's definitely, I would say, like in the more like R-rated sphere of tarot readings. But I think it's a good deck here. So, and I really enjoy it. So, okay. So we have here the I'm sorry. So we have here the Atomic Tarot, and I just want to read for you to kind of give you like an idea of like what this tarot card deck is about. I'm going to read for you the definition of the High Priestess card, okay? So I don't have the High Priestess card, but I'm going to read you the definition to kind of give you like a little glimpse into like what that energy and the deck is all about. So we have here, the priestess is often depicted positioned between the twin pillars of Solomon's temple, Boaz and Jackson, and the left and right paths of the Kabbalistic tree of life, Mercy and severity. As such, she is associated with the key central path between Tifereth, heart, beauty, and Kether, crown, Godhead. But here, these pillars and columns are revealed as the legs of the high priestess herself, who has lovely pins indeed, and from between which she comes to chew, duality, as well as the nectar of Amrita and the taste of your sex. The animal associated with the path between Tifereth and Kether is traditionally the camel, because the calling on of the high priestess requires the crossing of a desert, an act of mindless bravery, which is bright light of the soul, and which requires a great store of resources, the hermit and the chariot. And here we have her heels buried deep in the sand. But with the offer, the certainty of the quenching liquid of desire at the end, all devourer, all begetter, make of it the same way. The halo of the anklet is an example of defying an aspect of the female in order to put it on a pedestal. A high heel on a high priestess. And of course, the anklet resembles a crown of thorns, which represents verity. And of course, lingerie represents the highest peak of civilization, which presence is the mark of its fullest realization. For a reason, the drawing of Isis, Shiva, see also the moon, the star, the chariot, death, the tower, visions of beauty and overthrowing. All right. And really, honestly, like here, it's like you are looking for freedom, Scorpio, freedom to express yourself. And I feel like sometimes that freedom that you've taken to express yourself and be vulnerable in the past has been taken advantage of and exploited. And I feel like you're now taking that power back, Scorpio. Like you're no longer letting others exploit you, like, or, betray you, right? Like, you are here to express yourself and have complete control and power over that. And I feel like, with the King of Cups energy, and the moon energy and the Hierophant energy, all of that, the star, It's like you're ready now. You're ready to go into your unconscious and you're ready to explore what that freedom really means to you. Okay? So, um, if we translate all what we just read about the high priestess, okay, and the breakdown of what that means in more simplistic terms, because we're going on timelines here. So, you know, your past is like very deep in your unconscious here. It's very deep in your subconscious here. But if you bring it up to a conscious level where you can fully understand it and put it into action, we have intuition, mystery, divine feminine energy. Okay, Scorpio. This card represents a connection to the hidden realms of knowledge and a heightened awareness of the unseen. The High Priestess encourages you to trust your inner wisdom, instincts, and psychic abilities. It signifies a time of introspection, reflection, and accessing spiritual insights. The High Priestess card invites you to explore the realms beyond the material and embrace the power of the intuitive and the mysterious aspects of life. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. It's time now for you to bring a lot of things to light. You know, you're going into, you know, the dark shadow realm here, but you're doing that so that you can bring those messages that you receive back up into the conscious realm, into the daylight, and to be, you know, illuminated here. Okay? So I'm going to just draw you another unconscious card here to tie up the reading. And we have the Two of Cups. Okay? So the biggest message that your unconscious wants you to know at this time is the Two of Cups. Okay? And the Two of Cups, partnership, love, mutual connection. This card signifies a deep and harmonious union between two individuals, often in the realm of romantic relationships. The Two of Cups invites you to celebrate the shared emotional connection with another person. It symbolizes a balanced and harmonious relationship where both parties are equal and committed. This card encourages you to embrace love, cooperation, and the potential for a lasting emotional bond. So you started off like Scorpio feeling like, you know, you had this betrayal, you had breakups, you had, you know, memories from your past where like a boyfriend would like, you know, maybe cheat on you, or, you know, he would betray your trust, obviously. And you're like, is this like happening again? Like, why am I feeling like this is happening again? Well, once you strip away like all of that, you know, past hurt and past trauma that you experienced with a first love, a first romantic connection, then you start to see that your unconscious really wants you to trust again. It wants you to trust in the new energies coming in. Maybe there's not going to be a label on it, but if you look at your past, when did labels really work out for you? Right? I'm not saying there isn't a place for titles and labels and like professional, the professional sphere in your career. Obviously, you deserve like a title and respect, but we're not talking about career here. We're talking about your heart, and we're talking about what is going to support you feeling like self-love again and self-care again. Because if there is like a friend coming in, or an energy, right, because we're not labeling things, if there's an energy coming in that wants to show you love again in the way you want to feel loved, in the way you like almost need to, not really codependent, okay, but just that mutual connection here, okay. And then we have your Shadow Crow card. We have courage. Face fears with courage and determination. Bravery opens doors to new possibilities. And what was your door with the bird? Sovereignty. Freedom. Your new person, this new energy coming in, it wants you to have self-determination, liberty, freedom, free will, and release. It wants you to have that. Okay, probably with them, right? He didn't want you to share that energy with them, right, Scorpio? But at the heart of it, okay, where it matters most, it wants you to feel that way again. because there's something about this energy that senses like your pain and and the betrayal and the loss that you're feeling and the heartache that you're feeling. And that's where it comes in as like an association and success. Okay, so that's my message for you. Okay, Scorpios, you've got this. Love and light always. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know you liked this video by hitting the thumbs up. Bye.